opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Has experienced hail damage, and there's never been a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. The hail is very spotty, some pretty light, others heavier, but there are huge discounts right now happening at Coppel. So please do not wait. Get thousands of additional discounts along with 0% APR. There will be a lot of people heading this way to purchase vehicles. So stop on in or check us out online at coppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker, who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is a glorious day in Lincoln, Nebraska. You know, I'm kind of one of those weird people. I like all kinds of weather. Now, pun intended, I don't like the wind. The wind literally blows. But outside of the wind, like, I enjoy a good hot day. I enjoy a freezing cold day. Not necessarily when you factor in a bunch of wind. I like snow. I like rainy days. I like sunny days. Even the occasional cloudy day. Not a bunch. There's a reason I never lived in Seattle. But, like, I enjoy diversification of my portfolio and weather. Again, the wind blows. Outside of the wind, I pretty much enjoy most things. The other thing I maybe don't enjoy so much, and maybe this is a big man problem, humidity. Not a fan of the humidity, Jake.
Yeah, fair enough.
I grew up in a desert. So, born in Hastings, lived there till I was 3. Dad's job took me up state of Washington. So I grew up in the state of Washington. Look at the state of Washington on a map. Just imagine it as like a square. So everyone thinks of Washington, they think of Seattle. Rainy, green, Puget Sound, absolutely beautiful. Okay. That's not the part of the state of Washington that I grew up in. If you look in the map, top left corner, it's like Seattle, Tacoma, all that stuff. Okay, Husky Stadium is beautiful. You sit in the stands, you can watch the football game, you can look out at the scoreboard, look out over Puget Sound, just glorious and beautiful, right? Now, the Rocky Mountains, they don't exactly split the state in half. It's probably like 70-30, more west than east. But let's just say down the middle of the state goes the Rocky Mountains. For whatever reason, rain clouds don't make it over the Rockies. And if you look in the bottom right corner, because top left is Seattle, bottom right on a map, you're going to see Tri-Cities. That's Richland, Pasco, and I grew up in Kennewick. The weather in Kennewick, Washington is vastly different from that of Seattle, Washington. Again, like cactus, tumbleweeds. It was not atypical for it to be 110 degrees in the summer. A desert. The rain clouds, I swear to God, for some reason, don't make it over the Rocky Mountains. So I grew up with very little rain, very little snow. Legit tumbleweeds would blow across the road. We had sand dunes. I'd go ride the four-wheeler in the summer. About killed myself on 3 separate occasions. Story for another day. Multiple stories for another day. The Oregon coast is phenomenal, by the way. If you've never ridden four-wheelers on the Oregon coast, Coos Bay, Florence, all those, up and down the coast. Absolutely beautiful. Easy to lose a limb or a life there as well. Again, story for another day. Stories, 3 separate stories. But I grew up in a place where it was hot, no humidity, very little rain, very little snow, and people look at me like I'm a liar and I'm full of BS when I say this. We're literally probably 30 minutes from the Oregon border. All right. So very, very close to the northeastern part of Oregon. All right. So I grew up in a unique climate that most people don't picture when they picture Washington State. But I don't know. Maybe that's part of the reason. It was basically the same all year. Obviously not as hot in the winter, much hotter in the summer, but there wasn't a whole lot of variance in the climate. So I love different types of weather. Outside of wind and humidity, there's a limit. I enjoy humidity to a certain limit point. All right, I didn't plan on talking about this today, but if you listen to the show, this is not atypical at all. I will just go off on random rants for no apparent reason. Jake, what's your favorite kind of weather and what's your least favorite kind of weather? And then we'll dive into what is, again, a loaded show.
I'm a fall and spring guy. I think partially, fall, obviously football. I get pretty excited for that. But as far as weather goes, man, winter. Every winter it comes around, I think, why am I still here?
So you don't like the freezing cold? You don't like snow?
No, not at all.
I enjoy it. Maybe again, I like when the weather clearly changes, and I think that's because I grew up in an opposite type of environment. It was so similar all year round. I like things that change, at least weather-wise. So I don't know. Maybe that's kind of why I enjoy certain things the way that I do. All right, Adam Carriker Show, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. What you're going to hear is Husker sports, college football, sports in general. What you're going to get, unique insight, unbridled honesty, and producer Jake and I are going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. We have got draft talk. Matt RHULE would take Shedeur Sanders without hesitation with the number 3 overall pick in the draft. Quick thoughts?
Is this the same guy that thought Jeff Sims was going to be in the pros?
That's about 3 daggers in one right there. All right, we will dive into that just a little bit more later on throughout the show. I said this on social media. I would take Travis Hunter. For me, it's Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. Now, a team's needs got to be factored into this. Everyone's projecting Cam Ward. All right, well, not everyone, but 95% of the mock drafts that I look at are projecting Cam Ward to go number 1 overall to the Tennessee Titans. They need a quarterback. All right, but unless I've got like 21 really good players and I'm just missing a quarterback, Cam's going to be a good NFL quarterback. I don't know. Like when I'm drafting someone number 1 overall, I'm like Pro Bowl, possible Hall of Famer. That's how I'm looking at a guy. And I'm not saying Cam can't be that. I think Cam is just as likely to not work out as he is to be a Hall of Famer. It's a little bit too risky for me with the number 1 pick. I do think he's clearly the number 1 quarterback on the board. But for me, team need aside, I'm going Travis Hunter. And here's why I say that. Now, is he exactly like Deion Sanders? No. Are they about as close as a coach and player can be outside of father-son? Yes. But if someone told me, hey, you can draft the next Deion Sanders, would you do it? Yes. And yes, he's the closest thing to Deion Sanders since Deion Sanders. So to me, and I think Travis isn't quite as flashy, isn't quite as prime-esque. All right, and that's fine. That doesn't matter to me. I do love some of the intangibles that Travis brings. I factor that in. It's the very same reason that a guy with top 10 talent, Shedeur Sanders, I'd have a hard time touching in the first round. The intangibles scare me with him. Very much so. All right, but with Travis, he knows how to take care of his body because he's been doing it. He clearly is very smart and can learn a bunch of plays and learn them quickly and do multiple things. For me, it's a game changer. So does anybody remember it was 94 when Steve Young finally won the Super Bowl? I don't want to say finally, Hall of Fame quarterback, but he had that monkey on his back after they mollywopped the Chargers in the Super Bowl. He had teammates pretend like they were taking the monkey off his back because people were still comparing him to Montana, who just won 4 not that long ago. All right. So 94, I think it was in Miami. They mollywopped San Diego, win the Super Bowl. Deion was on that team. The year before, the Niners fell short of the Cowboys, if you remember, in the NFC Championship game. The Cowboys won 92-93. All right, that's when I remember in their first one, they beat the Bills. They beat the Bills twice in a row. That's right. It was the only Super Bowl rematch back-to-back years. The Bills actually led at halftime of that second Super Bowl, and then the Cowboys pulled away the second half. But then the Niners get Deion. They beat the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game for the first time in about 3 years. They'd lost to him multiple years. So Deion was kind of the guy that pushed him over the edge. All of a sudden, Deion goes to the Cowboys the next year. Jimmy's gone, Johnson. Barry Switzer's the head coach. Troy Aikman wasn't a gigantic fan. Did you know that he committed to play for Barry at Oklahoma when they were running the option? Barry promised, we're not going to run the option. Troy says, okay, I'll come. Barry tries to run the option. Troy transfers to UCLA. That's how he ended up there. Did you know that whole thing?
I knew that he went to Oklahoma. I didn't know the story behind it.
So you had a bit of a history that wasn't so phenomenal with Barry Switzer. Then Barry becomes the head coach. And if I'm Jerry Jones, I might go to my two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback and say, hey, are you cool with this new head coach? I already blew it with Jimmy. Jerry's not going to say that, but he did. And I think, almost 3 decades of what we've seen since proves that Jimmy was the difference maker. No disrespect to Jerry, but it was not you, my friend. And I would have said, hey, you cool with this guy? I think Troy, maybe he did. And maybe Troy said he was, or we could work around it, or we'll be professional. It didn't work out great. But Deion goes to Dallas from the Niners. He only signed a 1-year deal with the Cowboys. All of a sudden, the Cowboys beat the Niners AFC Championship game. They won the Super Bowl. Now, was it all Deion? No. But there's a tipping point. And I think Deion helped be that tipping point a couple years in a row for 2 different teams that won the Super Bowl. My point is, I think the closest player we've had since Deion to anyone being Deion is Travis. Plus, I love his intelligence, the way he carries himself. You're not going to have to worry about him off the field. He takes care of the body. He's a smart, intelligent guy. I would take him number 1. All right, I'm ready for the text line to vehemently and utterly disagree with me. Now, if I wanted to just be a blowhard and just, blow up the text line, I'd say I'd take Shedeur number 1. But everyone knows that would be a bunch of BS. But I would take Travis. So I want to know what people think. Do you agree, disagree? And don't just say agree. If you agree, you don't have to put anybody. But if you disagree, don't just say, oh, it's the dumbest take ever. Say it's the dumbest take ever, and I would take this player instead. Like, give us a counter opinion. There aren't many things that drive me nuts more than somebody who's just like, no, to everything you say, but never offers an actual opinion of their own or an idea of their own. I find that incredibly annoying. You know anyone like that, Jake?
No. Oh, wait, no. maybe I did.
Was that you doing what I was just complaining about?
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
So I would take Travis. All right. Cam Ward is projected number 1 by most people. Number 2 is Travis to the Browns by most people. Okay, but I'm curious what people on the text line, people listening in, tuning in, who they would take. Do they agree, disagree, and who would they take? Anyone texted in already?
Not yet. I was just kind of I'm to get this straight. Even if you're the Titans and are you going in with Will Levis then and taking Travis Hunter rather than going with Cam Ward and then you know what I'm saying?
Well, now you put me in a situation I wouldn't be in to begin with. I would have addressed the quarterback situation completely different. Like going all the way back, with all due respect to Ryan Tannehill, I would have handled this thing differently. So now, okay, all right.
Still have Malik Willis out there.
So this could happen. Let's say they hire me as the GM this year, and this is the team that I have. I've had no prior influence. I would have done something in free agency. I would have addressed this in free agency or something. Like, I just see Travis Hunter as a unique, like someone that's just unique. You got to take advantage of that. Preferably, depending on what the team needs would factor in here. In a perfect world, I'd play him at wide receiver, kick returner. He didn't do much returning because he was doing offense, defense in college. I would not want the guy taking all these snaps both ways because I want him to play as many games as possible. All right, unlike NBA players. And then I want him to have a long career with us. Okay, so I would say, hey, preferably I'd like you to play wide receiver. I think he's a smidge better there. Be a kick returner, punt returner, and then we will use you in specialty situations on defense. Like for his rookie year, I'm talking like If you have a set where you put 4 or 5 DBs on the field, dime, super dime, speed dime, whatever the case may be, and maybe a Hail Mary defense. I mean, for God's sake, Bill Belichick put Rob Gronkowski out there as a Hail Mary defense one time. Didn't go so well. Was it the Dolphins he did that against and they lost?
I believe so, yeah.
And maybe, depending on how his rookie year is going, maybe I put him in on more situations. But that's what I would personally do. I don't know if, I think I've stated that here and there throughout the offseason, but not this lengthy and definitively. So I think I've been consistent with that. Now, to answer your question directly, it does put a little bit, I'll be honest with you, I don't know the Titans enough. I don't know their wide receiver situation. I know Will Levis, he wouldn't be my quarterback to begin with, but I've been dealt this hand, so you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him, know when to walk away, know when to run. You got to play the cards you're dealt. What song, who sings it?
Oh, now I'm going to get in trouble.
I drink a lot of pre-workout, if you couldn't tell. Kenny Rogers, The Gambler.
There
Come
you
on,
go. Yeah,
man.
yeah.
My 7-year-old knows that. She loves that song, by the way. I would say I'm going to figure. I do think Cam Ward can be really good. The thing that gives me real cause to pause with him, and I don't know that it's such an anomaly in today's football world and college football landscape, but when he quit at halftime after he set the record of the bowl game, I mean, you got Shedeur who walked off the field in Lincoln with 2 minutes to go, but I mean, he just said, hey, I got the record. I'm good. Then there's a 2-minute situation in the fourth quarter with the game on the line, and he still doesn't go in. Miami's either going to win or lose based on this 2-minute possession. He still doesn't go in. I don't know. I would go Travis, and I just say I'm going to figure out the quarterback position. That's what I would say.
Well, and it is kind of interesting, too, because I know we all, are kind of thinking what quarterback need, and that's where you kind of have that debate. But this is not last year's quarterback room. I mean, if Cam Ward was in this one, I think he's going to, like you said, I think he's got upside, as we all do, when you're thinking about taking a first-round pick. But if you look at last year's draft, would he have been picked ahead of Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels or Drake May, maybe even Bo Nix? I mean, so you're talking about
Michael
taking
Penix.
a guy first, right? That might be a 20th, whatever. I don't know where it would be in the last year's draft. So when you do position,
JJ McCarthy too.
Yeah, could be in there. I mean, so when you kind of put that into perspective, are you reaching for? I know it's your position of need, but are you reaching for it? That farther out, and then so that's why I kind of agree with you. And maybe maybe there's still some upside in Will Levis, but I'd probably look at some of the top players. Travis Hunter's not this. This is not a prospect that comes around. This is not compared. Well, what's compared to, like you said, this is a Dion type prospect. You just don't get too often.
Wildcat. It worked for the Dolphins for about a year and a half. Wildcat, baby.
There you go.
We're running the Wildcat. Pat White, I know you're coaching quarterbacks at West Virginia. Can you still run, my friend? Remember when the Dolphins drafted him in the second round just to run the Wildcat back when they were doing that? All right.
Everybody was excited for that. It didn't turn out.
It didn't turn out great. Rex Burkhead did it a lot here at Nebraska.
Yeah.
All right. There's a couple options for you there, Tennessee.
I don't know if that's a good thing. I think it's a necessity for Nebraska's offense.
That is also true. If the Wildcat is more than something you do sporadically when you want to do it, in other words, you have to do it, you got problems on offense. All right. Abdul Carter. So for me, it would actually be between Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, the number one pass rusher. Clearly, the number one pass rusher on the board. And when I look at guys, because you make a great point, because what I factored in my head without saying it out loud was, who is the quarterback? Like, if I had like the 32nd pick in the first round, I'd probably pop Shedeur if we really needed a quarterback. If I was around 20, maybe 15, I'd take Cam. Like, putting him at 1, it's supply and demand. That's really what this draft is when it comes to quarterback. That's not a slam on Cam. I'm still saying you're a top 15 to 20 pick, regardless, in my mind. That's a compliment. But last year, man, you look at what Jaden did, you look at what Caleb can do, the type of prospects they are, and everyone else that you mentioned. Wasn't it the first 5 picks? I'm sorry, the first 12 picks, there was 5 quarterbacks taken last year? It's either 5 or 6, because the 13 went Brock Bowers to the Raiders, and that was really the end of that quarterback run, because my son's a Raiders fan, and he was pissed that all the quarterbacks were gone when the Raiders came up. Yeah. So he's held it against Brock Bowers all year long. But
Brock had like a historic season.
I know. I keep telling him that. He's like, we don't have a quarterback. I'm like, well, I'm not a Raiders fan. I don't care.
It was 6 quarterbacks in the top 12.
Wow. And JJ, he got banged up, but he looked great in camp. Okay, and he hurt his knee. Michael Penix supplants, and with all due respect to Kirk Cousins, ends up being the starter. I don't think Cam. Do you think Cam? And this again, those guys all went in the top 12. I'm saying Cam is top 15 to 20. Do you think Cam would have been taken ahead of any one of those guys if he were in last year's draft.
It's
him or Bo Nix, I think, would have been that
Yeah.
last quarterback taken out of those 6.
That's what I was thinking. Like kind of around there toward the end. I mean, Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy, and Bo Nix all went within the last 6 picks or whatever. So I think you'd put him in there somewhere.
He would have been in that mix somewhere, but he wouldn't have been up there with Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels,
Drake May.
Yeah, Drake May. I was like, the North Carolina guy, help me out, Jake, and then you said it. So, yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. For me, it would be between Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. To me, just comparing straight position to position. Take my bias out of this. Pass rusher, right behind quarterback, to me, it goes quarterback, pass rusher, and then probably people who can protect the quarterback are the top 3 most important positions. There's a reason why quarterbacks, left tackles, and pass rushers are pretty much the 3 most highest paid positions in all of football. You could throw cornerback in there as well. So that's the only thing that would give me a little bit of cause to pause when it comes to Travis is like, should we go with Abdul? Because he's clearly the number 1 pass rusher at a position that's incredibly valued. And I don't think it's a big stretch whether he goes 1, 2, or 3. Like you're kind of stretching a little bit with Cam Ward. All right, Cam Ward's very intriguing to me. This is a guy that had basically no offers coming out of high school. Went to Washington State, played incredibly well. His OC goes down to Miami, follows him, and then he blows up in a really good way. So this is an incredibly intriguing guy. And if you watch him play, if you watched him play last year, he played hero ball at Miami because he had to, and he could. And he was that good. And Miami's defense was that god awful. Oh my good Lord, they were bad. They went 10-2. Without him, they're 6-6, 7-5. Like he was the difference in a lot of those games. There's a reason Miami fired their defensive coordinator and brought in a new one. All right. So I would go Travis number 1. I'd probably go Abdul Carter number 2, and then the Giants. At number 3, that's when I'd probably pop Cam Ward because they need a quarterback. Now, we're going to tease and come back to the next break. By the way, Lincoln Arniel, Husker Volleyball Insider. One of the top dogs in covering Nebraska volleyball is going to join us at 11:45. Lots of Nebraska football to talk about at the top of the hour as well. But according to Matt RHULE, he would take Shedeur Sanders at number 3 and he wouldn't hesitate. He thinks he would shine in New York. I'm just pausing for effect. No hint of what I think about that yet. There probably is a hint in there. We know what Jake thinks. All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We shall discuss further.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is bringing back Bowl for Kids' Sake. Create a team, raise donations, and join the bowling celebration at Sun Valley Lanes and Games on May 2nd. Every contribution helps to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships for Lincoln's young people. Learn more and register today at bbbsmidlands.org under the Events tab. Big Brothers Big Sisters, igniting the power and promise of Lincoln's youth for over 50 years.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: scattered showers and storms expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high near 69. Tonight, scattered showers and storms return, below near 49. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers in the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high near 63. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clifford for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Aloe, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at aloefiber.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Hey, bestie! Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Check out all things The Ticket at theticketfm.com, Facebook, X, YouTube, podcast platforms, Amazon Prime, or simply turn your radio dial to 93.7 The Ticket. It's every frickin' where. All right, I don't know what they've said. You just told me we've got responses to the question. All right, what are these responses?
All right, trying to figure out who you would draft first in the NFL draft. And I'll run through some of these. Some of these aren't necessarily answering that question, but some thoughts too along the way. Husker P says Switzer won the Super Bowl with the Cowboys, so he's just throwing that out there.
I said that the year that Dion went from Niners to the Cowboys. Yeah, Switzer was there. He won. And then the next year was when Aikman ran out of patience with him. But go ahead.
All right. While Bill's hoping the Cowboys trade up to get Travis Hunter, Gus Mohawk says, as a Raiders fan, I'm taking Hunter first, but he's definitely off the board. So then I'm going to have to go with Genty. Thoughts on how Genty's game would transfer to the NFL?
I think Genty's going to be a good back. What I see here, I've seen him projected to go number 5 to Jacksonville. Let's see. Who am I looking at? I've seen him number 4 to the Bears, which, man, running backs just aren't taken that high anymore. There was another one I was looking at. Where did it go? I can't. Do they not have him in the top 10, this other dude? Ryan Wilson doesn't even have him going in the top 10. Oh, there he is, number 10 to the Bears. So pretty much everybody has him going top 10, maybe top 5. Here's the thing about Genty. He's got the breakaway speed. And he's got the ability to be physical and run between the tackles. He's an every down back. And I think that's one of the major reasons why he's projected to go so high. Like a lot of times NFL teams, they don't value running backs as much as they used to. They'll have a guy who's a little better in between the tackles and then a third down back and then someone who comes in and keeps your starter fresh or your rotation. And so guys don't go as high anymore. For Genty to be projected by pretty much everybody, top 10, most people top 5, that's a heck of a compliment. It's because he's a 3-down back. I've seen him. He's not the biggest dude in the world. All right, he's a little shorter to earth, shall we say, closer to earth than most folks. But when you're trying to tackle somebody, Corey Ross was closer to earth and was hard to tackle. Barry Sanders was not an incredibly tall guy. You have to be tall to be a running back. My point is he's even a little bit more on the shorter side. But he will step up and he will do blitz pickup as well. He's a guy who can catch the ball in the backfield. I think his game translates really, really well. So for me, of all the guys in this draft, I'm most excited to watch Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Kelvin Banks. If you remember, he won the Outland Trophy. He got to have a picture with me at the Outland Trophy ceremony in Omaha. The dude didn't give up a sack all year. And I want to say he only allowed 1 pressure, but I'd have to go back and double check that. But he didn't give up a sack all year. And for 2 years in a row, he's pretty much been considered to be one of the best, if not the best offensive tackles in the country. Now, the other guy to watch at offensive tackle spots, Will Campbell out of LSU. Some people have Will Campbell ahead of him. Some people have Kelvin Banks. He's from Texas. Gag me you. Put that aside. The dude's an athlete. All right, he went through a lot with his mom. He was actually featured on Game Day at one point this year. I do believe that Ashton Genty's game, because he's a 3-down back who can do just about anything you ask him to do, I think it translates really well.
Yeah, too. And I know, like, you might have caught up with his, 2,600 yards he ran, obviously, but only, caught about 100 yards out of the backfield last year, 138, I think. The year before, more than 500 yards out of the backfield, so he could definitely do that. I'll go back to some more of the response here. Old Dad 34 says I would take the kid from Penn State because of his upside, in my opinion. Augie says Travis should be number 1, but Tennessee needs a quarterback, and they won't pull a Matt Rule and not take one for a better player.
Wow. Hey, I don't. Okay. Anyone else? Sorry. Well, we'll revisit that in a second. Go ahead, Jake. Anything else? Anyone else?
Somebody else chimes in and says, not able to watch live, but I saw Adam was going to talk about Rule picking Sanders 3rd overall. There's a video on YouTube from one of Colorado versus CSU games where Shedeur sticks his hands into a CSU player's face mask and tries to poke the CSU player in the eyes. So he just wanted to bring that back to our attention, which I do remember that. 5162 says Cam Ward was at Incarnate Word before Washington State. So if you don't remember, there was a time where he's actually considering Nebraska.
That's right. For a brief period. I forgot about that.
Very short time. Timmy V says, if I'm Tennessee, I pick Travis, then pick best available quarterback in round 2 or 3. I think the second-tier quarterbacks with a weapon like Hunter would be better than Sanders or Cam without Hunter.
All right. You got any other thoughts on those?
Just trying to say there's two more coming in here as I'm talking. Scooter from Roca says Rule would take Sanders. That's why he's not in the NFL anymore. So there's a few people who roast him for that. Bill and Bennett says Shedeur will get drafted for sure, but how about his brother Shiloh? And Big B says I'd take the quarterback from North Dakota State in a minute.
Some interesting thoughts there. I like some of those. When it comes to RHULE and Shedeur, all right, my initial reaction was not dissimilar to what a few folks have pointed out. Maybe this is why he's not coaching in the NFL anymore. I think you pointed out to me before the show started or during this previous break, you gave him the benefit of the doubt of Carolina, excuse me, because he didn't get a draft to quarterback, but then you hear this and you're like, oh boy. Okay. So all that's fair game. It's all fair. It's all relative. It all makes sense and all connects. And then my instant thought was, I'm glad you're here at Nebraska. You're meant for college football. That was my instant thought when I heard it. But that was about 49% of what I thought. The other 51% was, this is Matt RHULE being Matt RHULE, conducting himself in a nice, classy way, saying nice things about, because Shedeur did the whole watch thing at Colorado a couple of years ago. And then, him and Dion, apparently RHULE talk trash about Dion, which was whatever, all this and that, which most of that was just a bunch of hogwash and a facade, kind of conjured up by Shedeur more so than anyone else. But I think it was Matt RHULE just being nice, doing the nice thing, doing the classy thing. And so that was really about what 51% of me actually thought. Because here's what Pete Thamel put out. All right, said he called a few coaches today. This was yesterday who played against Shedeur Sanders in college. Got an interesting response from Nebraska's Matt RHULE, who feels like Sanders would thrive in the New York spotlight. And I quote, it said, Matt RHULE quoting here, I would take him number 3 overall without a question, end quote, said RHULE, a former Giants assistant. I think the thing that gets me is the without question part. Like I would have just simply, and maybe that's how he feels, I would have just simply said, yeah, I'd take him number 3. I think he'd work well in New York. Just don't say without question. Like don't deal in absolutes unless it absolutely needs to be dealt in an absolute type fashion. Otherwise, leave some room for doubt in there, especially in a situation like this. All right. Another individual put out on X. Do you know how to say it? D-O-V Kleiman, Dov Kleiman, Dove Kleiman?
I've seen his stuff before.
Okay. So he tweets about college football, the NFL, and things of that nature. Now, he said on one of his recent posts on X, oh boy, an NFL assistant coach on Shedeur Sanders. And here's the quote from the scout, or assistant coach, I'm sorry. The quote is, the worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time, means he holds the ball. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good, end quote. When you hear that, it almost sounds a little personal. Like, right. Is this a former wide receiver that Dion locked down? Like his dad was a wide receiver. Dion locked him down. And now this is the son carrying out the, years old grudge or something. But here's the deal. I guarantee there's people that feel like that. So he's probably just speaking his truth. But when you hear something that absolute, like there's no room for error in there. What are your thoughts when you hear something like that, Jake?
Well, I'm always intrigued by the draft because there are, half the time, half these picks are bad. And we see that in like 5 years later. So it's kind of interesting. But there's a reason why he's being considered a top draft pick, whether he's a first round, second round pick. I mean, so to say he's not very good or, all these different things, I do feel like that's going into a little bit personal, but it could be how he feels. Again, that's a guy, that's what he does for a living. And so he's supposed to weed out those ones that he says 5 years from now, that's going to be a mistake. And if that's how he feels, then so be it. I mean, there's probably some truth to the things he says. Those are all things that people are a little bit concerned about. But he just kind of went all in. He didn't say any good parts about him. There are good qualities about him as well.
Yeah, there was no sandwich, no verbal sandwich. So someone once explained to me the verbal sandwich. You say something nice, you say what you really mean, and then you end with something nice. You kind of sandwich your true thoughts with something nice in the beginning and the end. There was no verbal sandwich. This guy is hot garbage. I mean, that's basically what he said. I'm paraphrasing, of course. There's so many guys that I'm just curious to see how they pan out in the NFL, from Cam Ward to Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Ashton Jeanty to Shedeur Sanders. Those are probably the top 5 that pop out in my head. I'm drawn to Kelvin Banks, the Texas offensive tackle, what he went through with his mom, and just how good he really is. All right. It kind of disgusts me that Texas won the Outland Trophy 2 years in a row, but he's a pretty good player. All right. We're going to talk more tomorrow And maybe Ty Robinson gets popped in the first round. But we expect more guys from Nebraska to be up and coming as the next guy's being drafted on the board, maybe starting tomorrow going into the weekend. So we will talk about more Nebraska guys, Ty Robinson. I'm just going to throw this out there. Thomas Fedoni, etc. Do you think Nash Hutmaker just gets drafted? Do you think he gets drafted at all, Jake, throughout this weekend? I'm going to throw that out there right now.
It's such a tough one because I thought his whole career, yes, he's progressing to be that way, but there just hasn't been any buzz. So, I mean, I'd have to go with probably not.
It is surprising. When you think back to certain games last year and we had a hard time stopping the run, like think back to the first time we really couldn't get off the field. They only scored 3 points, but we couldn't get off the field versus North Dakota. Who was it? Northern Iowa. Remember they just kept running the ball and just staying on the field? I was like,
that's right.
What's going on? Like I knew Ty was playing well. And then you think back to the Indiana game. Remember we hadn't given up a rushing touchdown all year? Then they had like 42 in the first 5 plays. Do that math. Like when teams are running at UCLA, they were the worst rushing team in America when we played them. 132 out of 132. Rushed for over 150 yards in Lincoln. If a team is getting ran on, and I just picked like 3 of the worst rushing performances I can think of. Obviously, there's other games that were much better, to be clear. It starts in the middle. It really does. I loved, and I've talked about this. I try not to bring it up too much. I loved the Nash Hutmaker wrestling story last year. I tried not to bring it up too much. I was more curious to see how it played out. I do think it had an impact. I don't think it helped him be a better player. And I would just talk about the defense as a whole. I wouldn't single Nash out because I like him and I like the story and I kind of connected the two. And I feel like, I don't know. When a guy works as hard as he does and does something that's rarely ever done, you want to show love to that. But you got to be honest at the same time. So I would just address the defense as a whole. Okay. But if for the first time ever, I'm going to point out, when you think back to some of those games where we really struggled to stop the run, it starts in the middle at the nose guard position. And here's the thing about NFL scouts. They don't give a crap if he won a slam dunk competition, if he ran marathons, or if he sits at home on his couch all day eating Cheetos. All they care about is what that film says. And so I guarantee that's part of the evaluation. From his junior to senior year, it wasn't quite the same consistent effectiveness on film. That being said, I watched him at the East-West Shrine game. He's back to being Nash. Somebody's going to get a diamond in the rough, and they're going to get a very good football player for many years to come. This is why NFL teams have to do the deeper dive. If you just know the topical stuff, you'll miss guys. Or you'll draft guys higher than they should be, or you won't draft a guy who could surprise people. That's why they do all these deep dives. Maybe somebody else has noticed this too and noticed that Nash is back to being Nash, and maybe somebody pops him. I am with Jake. It doesn't seem likely, just no buzz, unfortunately. But Nash is a guy I'm very intrigued to see what happens with him as well. All right, when we come back, we're joined by Nebraska volleyball insider Lincoln Arneal. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
At Aloe, we go beyond internet, bringing you faster speeds backed by an all-fiber network. We go beyond TV and phone service, delivering reliable, crystal clear connections. We go beyond customer service with local teammates and no robots for a hassle-free experience. We go beyond value, offering transparent prices with no contracts, hidden fees, or data caps. We even go beyond our office doors by working, hiring, volunteering, and living in the communities we serve. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at aloefiber.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Big Brothers Big Sisters is bringing back Bowl for Kids' Sake. Create a team, raise donations, and join the bowling celebration at Sun Valley Lanes and Games on May 2nd. Every contribution helps to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships for Lincoln's young people. Learn more and register today at bbbsmidlands.org under the Events tab. Big Brothers Big Sisters, igniting the power and promise of Lincoln's youth for over 50 years.
Join Main Street Beatrice for their annual Beer, Wine, and Spirits Festival on Saturday, May 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. with VIP entrance at 3 p.m. Enjoy an afternoon of live music and unlimited tastings of Nebraska beer, wine, and spirits at Envision Landscapes and Garden Center. There's something for all palates, and you only pay your entry fee. Food and snacks are available for purchase at the event, as well as off-sale beer, wine, and spirits from vendors. Tickets are only $25 ahead of time or $30 at the door. This fun day is for adults 21 and over only. Buy your tickets at mainstreetbeatrice.org or on the Main Street Beatrice Facebook page today.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Hamann Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a four-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats, including Hamann Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carriker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Email jake@theticketfm.com for more questions or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Early bird registration goes through April 20th, and overall registration goes through May 30th.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Spring is right around the corner, and now's the time to get your John Deere mower prepared for the grass to turn green. To get you ready, Acres reduced the price of its John Deere mower blades, filters, belts, and home maintenance kits by 15%. Gator UTV maintenance parts are also 15% off. Regular maintenance will keep your John Deere equipment going for years. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Offer expires May 31st, 2025. Visit your local Acres for details or go to acres.com to start shopping today.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Hamann Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Hamann Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Again, check out all things The Ticket at theticketfm.com. Social media, everywhere you get your podcasts, and or turn that radio dial to 93.7. Now we're going to bring on our special guest. This man covers Nebraska volleyball for Huskers Illustrated, co-host of the Volleyball Pod as well, Mr. Lincoln Arneal. How you doing, my friend?
I am not too bad, Adam. Yourself?
Dude, life is glorious. All right. Danny Busboom had not her first press conference, but she hasn't had a ton since she became the coach. What was your major takeaways from her press conference here that she had earlier this week?
I think that the transition has gone pretty smooth. I mean, she kind of came up in the John Cook School of Coaching, so not anything too different. And I think everyone's having a good time. They're getting to know each other, and I think that she's making tweaks and making it her own program, but it hasn't been a real culture shock for any of the players from last year's team.
How big of an impact do you think that I mean, she's from Nebraska, played for Cook, coached under Cook, was there when they won a national title as a player and an assistant coach under Cook. How big of an impact do you think that makes for her? Because the reverse side of that is for someone who may not handle pressure great, and I'm not saying that's her, but somebody who doesn't, maybe someone else, that could just add a ton more pressure. How do you think she's kind of handling all this, and what type of impact do you think that's making?
I think it's a lot. I mean, Nebraska volleyball is different. I mean, she was a head coach for 8 years at Louisville. She gets what it takes to run a program, to build a program, and recruit at the elite level. But I think Nebraska volleyball is different just because of everything else that's outside of the program of being on court, of dealing with having 20 people at a press conference. I don't think there's any other program in the country that attracts that level of attention. Having a sold-out arena, people selling out 8,000 seats for a spring exhibition match. So I think there's a lot of other things that go into it. I think she knows everything else that comes with it. I think that helps a lot with her acclimation to the program. So I think that's kind of eases her transition. She knows what she's getting into rather than someone coming from the outside. So she knows what she's getting into and has handled it well.
All right, Husker games are this weekend. A lot of focus on a lot of different sports this year, and volleyball being one of those, with Kansas coming to Lincoln for an exhibition. This is a pretty darn good Kansas team. What should we expect for an exhibition game, which, by the way, will be televised? I know a lot of Husker games won't. That'll be televised by BTN. But what are we looking for as far as an exhibition against Kansas?
I think for Nebraska, it's the key is going to be on some of the new faces that Nebraska hasn't seen yet. I mean, there's a couple freshmen I'm specifically keeping my eye on. Outside hitter Tariah Sigler, as well as opposite Ryan Hunter. They could both have a path to playing time too if they really perform up to what their potential is. So those are the two that I'm really excited on. We'll get to see a lot of players on the court too. Danny talked about trying different rotations, different lineups, just to get a feel of how everyone reacts and how they react to being uncomfortable playing next to players they may not get to a lot in practice. So we'll see a lot of different lineups, a lot of new faces. So I think it'll be a good time to see that. And also we'll see what Danny's bringing with her new sped up offense that she's been talking about.
All right, talk to me about a player like Harper Murray, someone highly recruited, been a great player for the program, done a lot of fun things on social media this off season. What can fans expect from a player like Harper Murray, and what do you think DBK is looking and hoping to get out of her this season?
I think the key, I mean, we've seen a lot of growth from Harper. She's had her kind of trials and tribulations off the court too, and had bouts where she's been fighting against herself on the court too. I think what you want to see from Harper is that next step, the ability to take over the match. We've seen some at the national championship level, all those teams that have won the past few years have had that person who, when their team needs a kill, they can deliver it no matter who's in front of them, what defense is doing. So I think that's going to be a key part of what DBK can help unlock. And as well, I think the other key part of what Harper Murray brings this year is leadership. You lose Lexi Rodriguez and Merritt Beeson. And I think that Harper's really shown a lot of maturity and a very good perspective on volleyball and life as well too. So I think she's going to be a key factor in the leadership of this team, and with a lot of new faces on the team too. That's going to be vital.
Talk to me about, because this is still a fairly young team. There's only 2 seniors on this entire roster. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. Obviously, you look at Bergen Riley and Harper Murray, 2 of the bigger names out there. They're juniors, so at least upperclassmen. But it is still a bit of a younger team. But let's be real. If you're Nebraska volleyball, like, it's almost like you got to reach the Final Four. Like, that's the bare minimum for a successful season, which is a good thing, but obviously hard to do. 2 years ago, they played for a national title. Last year, they make it pretty deep into the tournament. I believe the Final Four. What are realistic expectations for the team this year? I mean, is everyone just going to be like, it's national title or bust, or what are your thoughts on this?
I think Bergen Riley talked about this at the press conference too. They've kind of dealt with the heartbreak of the last 2 years of coming so close, making the national title match, having match point in the semifinals last year and not being able to convert it, that they really have their heart set on winning a national title, especially that group of juniors who came in very highly touted and have really delivered. So I think, the expectation is to make the Final Four. That's a big step for all programs, no matter what level that you're competing at. So I think that they want to get to the Final Four, but I imagine the heartbreak will be there again too if they don't win it all. Like, I think they have the caliber of talent to really contend for it this year too. And I think there's a couple of the schools that are right there with Nebraska, but Nebraska is going to be among the elite programs again.
I know you kind of mentioned a few of these names already, but what are we kind of looking for as far as replacing some of the seniors, some of the big names that were on the team last year, like Lexi Rodriguez? And you know, is it going to be from the freshmen that are kind of stepping in, or is it going to be from maybe some players that were on the team to get more playing time this year?
Yeah, I think for Lexi specifically at libero, it'll be a couple familiar faces. It'll be Lainey Choboy and Olivia Malker, kind of the headliners there too. They both bring very different things to the libero position. Lainey is a firebrand; she's hustle, whereas Olivia is more kind of an even, steady performer who just gets the job done. She's having fun out there, but it is not riding the emotional roller coaster as some of our other people do. So I think both of them will probably wear the libero jersey this weekend and next weekend at Ord. I don't know if a decision is going to be made until August on that one. So I think that's going to be a key thing to watch as well, too. And then as far as replacing someone like Merritt Beeson, Ryan Hunter will be she's the only opposite right now on the roster. They'll get Ali Czech, who's transferring in from Baylor. She'll join the team this summer. So again, we want to watch what Ryan Hunter can do, because she's coming off. She had a knee injury about a year ago, but from everything I've heard, looks pretty good in practice. Hasn't missed any. Is fully healthy. So we'll get a good first glimpse at her. But again, that's another position battle that likely won't be settled at least until August, once Ali Czech gets here to round out the roster.
So in baseball, people like the big boppers. They like the home run hitters and the McGuires and the Sosas and the Bonds, etc. Okay, but it's even better when you've got people setting you up when they get on base, when the 1, 2, and 3 hitters are on base. So here's my question. Obviously, Harper Murray, highly popular, but let's talk about a person who's a 2-time Big Ten Setter of the Year, and the person who's the quarterback of this offense, this up-tempo offense you referenced earlier, and the person setting everybody up so they can slam it down the other team's throat, Bergen Riley. What do you kind of expect out of her this year? It's crazy to put this out there. Is she potentially the best setter, not only in the Big Ten, but potentially in the country this year?
Oh, I mean, if you're the Big Ten best center in the Big Ten, you're going to be one of the best in the nation, regardless. So I think, really, it's going to how she evolves with Danny's offense. What does that look like? How well she adjusts to the tweaks that they're making. And it's not a lot, but it's kind of, I'm trying to think of a football analogy. It's like going from under center to shotgun. It's just a little bit different. The plays are a lot of the same, some new routes. So I think that hopefully, she's done this before too. Maybe with the junior national teams that she's played on that run a little bit faster tempo. And there'll be some different route runnings that the hitters do, so setting them in different spots on the court. But Bergen showed the skill level and capabilities to adjust to whatever's thrown at her. She was a high school senior playing with the senior national women's team, so she's cool under pressure. I expect her to kind of elevate her game a little bit too and unlock some new things on the offense. So Bergen, I think I don't imagine her taking it back, because I know Danny's done a great job developing centers during her time at Louisville, and I think that she has an elite eye for talent and can really get the best out of Bergen.
All right, last question for you, my friend. So if you're sitting here at this way too early point in time in April, and you're going to predict next year's Final Four in December, I'm going to assume Nebraska is going to be one of those teams. Is Penn State there? Is Texas there? Creighton, how are they going to bounce back with a new coach? Who are some of the other teams you have rounding out that Final Four at this way too early date?
Yeah, and I think Nebraska's going to see a lot of these teams during this year. I think Texas is going to be good. They reload. They also get Tori Stafford, who transferred there from Pittsburgh. Kentucky's going to be dangerous. Nebraska, we'll see them early on. They have Brooklyn DeLay, and then Eva Hudson transferred from Purdue. And we'll see a couple of Florida. Florida will be good. Wisconsin has Mimi Collier from Oregon. Penn State, I think Penn State they'll be good. I don't know if they'll be elite like they were last year. They lost a lot due to graduation. So if I had to pick four, I'm going to go Nebraska, Texas, Kentucky, and Florida will be my Final Four here in April. It was a really super official time to do this. So, yeah, that's what I like right now.
That's what makes it fun. It's basically Nebraska and the SEC. That's what I just heard right there.
Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that. I still don't think of Texas as a SEC school, but it is. I guess so.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, my friend. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Has experienced hail damage, and there's never been a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. The hail was very spotty, some pretty light, others heavier, but there are huge discounts right now happening at Coppel. So please do not wait. Get thousands of additional discounts along with 0% APR. There will be a lot of people heading this way to purchase vehicles. So stop on in or check us out online at coppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com. The NFL Draft starts tonight, and the best place to watch it in Lincoln is at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane. Watch all the picks on any of their 30 TVs while enjoying a beer from one of their 23 taps or high-end bourbon and spirits. Try their delicious wings or handheld sandwiches like the Turkey Melt, Liquid Gold Hamburger, or the brand new Chocolate Chip Cookie Skillet for dessert. There's only one place to watch the NFL Draft in Lincoln. That's Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work?
Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Make plans to join 93.7 The Ticket and the Hamann Green Foundation for the first annual Nebraska Esports Golf Tournament on Monday, June 9th at Wilderness Ridge. It's a 4-man scramble starting at 11 a.m. that will feature former Husker greats, including Hamann Green, Johnny Rogers, Niles Paul, Tony Davis, Adam Carriker, Vershawn Jackson, and more, with great prizes and great golf. Sponsorships are also available. Email jake@theticketfm.com for more questions or sign your team up online at theticketfm.com. Early bird registration goes through April 20th and overall registration goes through May 30th.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com. Authentic Mexican food is not always easy to find, but you can find it in Lincoln at Tacos Los Hermanos. Their birria tacos are worth the drive from anywhere in town, but their chicken, chorizo, al pastor, and asada tacos are also worth the trip. You can also try any of those meats in a burrito or quesadilla. You won't find a better toppings bar in the area or better dessert options. If you can't get there, don't worry, they do deliver as well. Stop by Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock Streets in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: scattered showers and storms expected throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies with a high near 69. Tonight, scattered showers and storms return with a low near 49. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers in the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high near 63. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. I have dastardly news. Very sad news. Very, very bad news.
Uh-oh.
In 15 minutes, well, in 10, we're only going to be on streaming. The Royals, I guess, are playing baseball today. Apparently, they're more important than we are. Are you offended by this, Jake? You should be offended by this. No, I'm just kidding. All right, the Royals game or the pregame will start at 12:30.
Yeah.
All right. So we're out of here in 10 minutes, but we will be streaming only if you wish to stay with us and follow the show. I'll be honest with you, a lot of the we got 3 clips, 2 from RHULE's press conference recently, 1 from DBK. We're going to play in the last 30 minutes of the show. We got press conferences, all right, from Ed Stewart to Matt RHULE to Dylan Raiola, etc., Vincent Shavers to dive through in the last 30 minutes of the show. Probably roll over some into tomorrow. All right, so make sure you stay with us even when we go only to streaming. If you have to watch the Royals, I guess we'll allow it. All right, in the meantime, your daily friendly reminder to check out the inaugural Carriker Chronicles football camp. You can do so at carrikerchronicles.com. The camp is the camp that is for the kids, ladies and gentlemen. It's in Lincoln this summer. LYF, Lincoln Youth Football Fields, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Features Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch, Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer Amon Green, Outland Trophy winner Zach Wiegert. All right, a man who not only led Nebraska, but the conference in interception, 25 years of college football coaching experience, Kenny Wilhite, and yours truly as well. Again, July 9th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right, for boys and girls, K through 8th grade, easy for me to say, T-shirts, autographs are included. Again, to learn more and or register, tell a friend while you're at it. Go to carrikerchronicles.com. This is an interesting post that I just saw, College Sports Only, on X. Comparing, you remember DJ Ugalele?
Yeah.
Played for 15 teams. I think it was 3.
Yeah.
Clemson, Oregon State, Florida State. 5-star out of high school. Cam Ward was a 0-star. Were they the same class? I think they were the same class. I'd have to double check that. Cam Ward, a 0-star recruit out of high school, is about to be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. At least that's the projection. And this is not a shot at DJ. It just shows you. I've said before, I don't care who you are when you walk through the door. It's what you do once you're in the building. I watch 5-stars get embarrassed by walk-ons. Not every day, but sometimes in practice. And those memories stick with me. It's awesome if you're highly recruited and talented and fast and big and strong and everything else. And everyone loves you before you come here. All that matters is what you do once you get here. All right. So again, DJ was a 5-star recruit who's expected to not get drafted at all. Meanwhile, Cam Ward, all right, a 0-star recruit, no offers out of high school, is expected to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Hey, your story isn't written and your book isn't done until you say it is. Speaking of quarterbacks and quarterbacks making their own way, getting better, Matt RHULE has said of Dylan Raiola, and I quote, he is 10 steps ahead of where he was. And where he was pretty cool, end quote. When you hear something like that, Jake, what are your thoughts? What's your reaction?
I'm sorry, I'm going to do it to you again. I was sleeping over here.
Gosh, dang it. Stop taking naps. All right. So basically he said Dylan Raiola is 10 steps ahead of where he was last year, and he thought where he was last year was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because you want to hear that as opposed to he's slowly making strides or something like that. But it does get you excited. I mean, that lets you know, at least for me, that he's on pace with the strides that he was supposed to make this offseason.
You know, it's hard because I've had so many people tell me, hey, love the coaching changes. Think our coaching staff is better. RHULE's doing a lot of the right things. Brought in talented guys. Good moves in the transfer portal. Top 20 recruiting class. Love the strength staff. Adam, I've just heard it for somebody. Guy said 21 years. So specifically 21 years to this individual, but multiple people for like 2 decades, Adam. I'm just worn out. People just want to see it. I don't know what else he's supposed to say, honestly. Like, to your point, well, he's not quite as good as we'd hoped. Not doing that great. I mean, he's going to say positive things. I do think there's truth in what he says, too. Somewhere in there, there's also some Kool-Aid, which, can taste pretty good. But does it really quench your thirst? My point is, somewhere in there is some truth. How much of it is truth? How much is a coach trying to be positive? You find out August 28th versus Cincinnati. That's when we find out. All right. So here's another quote, and I quote, this is RHULE talking about Raiola. Even like a day-to-day when there's no pads, his movement in the pocket is excellent, end quote. Another one, his ability to play the next play and move on, his checks, his knowing what he's seen coverage-wise, end quote. Another one, I have really enjoyed watching him coach the other quarterbacks while they are out there, end quote. Talking about Raiola being more of a leader and just feeling more comfortable with things. Before we move on, is there anything from the text line going back to the start of the show or anything we're talking about currently right now that I should address at this point, Jake?
Just a few thoughts here. 1922 says sign Aaron Rodgers for 1 year and draft Travis Hunter #1. So that's kind of his thoughts there.
Okay. Yeah. That's why I'm not a GM. I didn't think of that. Why didn't I think of that? That's a great solution.
Husker P says Nash definitely cost himself money by wrestling. 9912 says Ty Robinson, the Broncos would be awesome. So probably won't happen, but we'll keep the hope up.
My daughter's a huge Broncos fan, Dakota. She would love that.
And also Bill Bennett says, do you guys think Ben Scott will get drafted?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I haven't heard his name a ton either. Kind of similar to Nash. I think Ben's kind of one of those guys who he's going to get his opportunity. He's a good football player. 3-year starter at Power 4 programs, Arizona State and here. Very good player. Matt RHULE thought enough of him to send him to Big Ten Media Days. It's one of the leaders of the team, spokesman of the team. So I think he's the guy who may or may not get drafted, but he's going to get his opportunity. Man, it wouldn't shock me if we look up 3 years from now and he's still playing. Maybe you're in a starting spot somewhere. But he's a guy who's going to have to, like, he's not necessarily going to have the benefit of the doubt in his direction. He's going to have to beat somebody else out who might get that benefit of the doubt. What I'm saying is that's not a bad thing. What I'm saying is I could see Ben Scott being one of those guys that beats another guy out who gets the benefit of the doubt. But Ben just happens to be a pretty good football player. And the NFL guys get the chance to see that as the process unfolds, especially when OTAs this summer and camp rolls around in the fall. You got any thoughts on that, Jake?
No, just kind of an interesting journey because remember when he came in, he said that he basically made it public that he wanted to leave after 1 year and he was going to center because that was going to be his future in the NFL. Nebraska, as always, has had needs at tackles. And so it was kind of always a thought, well, he played some tackle out there at Arizona State. Maybe we can move him around. But the idea with him was always center for his sake to move him on to the next level. And so he stuck out that extra year. Would have loved to see, I don't like to overlook that, right? That's a big deal. And helping Nebraska get to that bowl game. And so would have loved to see it turn out that he was, kind of getting more attention here. But, it's been on his mind for quite some time. So we'll see. He's gonna definitely fight it out. And we've had a few good stories of undrafted Husker offensive linemen specifically finding a spot in the league.
Those are good stories. As a Husker fan, those are also frustrating.
That's true, yeah.
Like, hey, where was that when you were in Lincoln, my man? Like, who do we... I love it when guys do well in the NFL. I just want the equivalent here in college. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? All right. So the article I'm looking at, where I was getting the quotes, written by Billy Hayen. Hope I'm saying that right. Kind of finishes the article about RHULE talking about Raiola and says maybe Raiola is still a year away from true superstardom, but the Big Ten should start to look out. He looks pretty darn ready to make a splash. Now that's according to Billy here. What do you think? Do you think Raiola, hopefully we avoid the sophomore slump altogether. Do you think he becomes a superstar this year? Do you think he makes the appropriate level of improvement? And all I've said is just some sort of all Big Ten recognition. First team, second team, third team. I'd even honorable mention, okay? Or do you think he does one of those two things? I don't even want to put option C out there. Do you think he does one of those two things or something else?
Again, we hope for the best. I do think that he takes a big step forward. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but there's a lot of pressure on him, and so I'm going to think he's going to be, like you said, maybe a second team, third team Big Ten would be great.
I would accept second, third. First would be all right too. Team all Big Ten. We're going to get out of here. All right. By the way, when you're the face of the place and you're getting paid the most, pressure is an acceptable part of the job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a break. Royals or streaming with Adam Carriker. You choose at 12:30. We'll be right back.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more. The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK. Make flying easy.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Chelsea plays Everton at 6:30 a.m., followed by Newcastle versus Ipswich Town at 9 a.m. On Sunday, Bournemouth plays Man United at 8 a.m., followed by Liverpool versus Tottenham at 10:30 a.m. Liverpool currently leads the standings with a commanding 79 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket, your place for English Premier League soccer, located at 8th and P.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
The NFL Draft starts tonight, and the best place to watch it in Lincoln is at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 27th and Jamie Lane. Watch all the picks on any of their 30 TVs while enjoying a beer from one of their 23 taps or high-end bourbon and spirits. Try their delicious wings or handheld sandwiches like the Turkey Melt, Liquid Gold Hamburger, or the brand new Chocolate Chip Cookie Skillet for dessert. There's only one place to watch the NFL Draft in Lincoln. That's Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had roofing service company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they Love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac, nachos, and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds.
You're listening to the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Shout out to my streamer-only listeners. Say what's up, Jake.
Hey there.
There's like 5 people out there now. No, I'm just kidding. Probably like 500. I have no idea, but we appreciate each and every single one of you. All right, couple of interesting tidbits, and then we got 3 clips we're going to play. So much press conference reaction to get to, from Danny Busboom-Kelly to Matt RHULE to Stewart, to GM, to Vincent Shavers, to Dylan Raiola. You guessed it, tomorrow's show is going to be loaded as well. We'll react to the draft tomorrow. We'll project what Huskers we think will get drafted at that point and where, and the Husker games. Jake, does anybody care? This is terrible. I'm involved in these. But I try to keep it as real as I can. How invested are people in this?
I can't wait to see. Again, my biggest fascination with is to see what kind of attendance we're going to have. I still think that if they could have done it over, since they're ended up having somewhat of a spring game, they would have never said we're not going to do a spring game to begin with. So it's going to be fascinating to see how all this turns out, and it's just kind of, it feels like somewhat of a Husker carnival, right? Which I think which is cool, and kind of the idea behind it, and I love it. But it also feels a little bit like spread out, and I'm not sure where to go when.
Yeah.
They've sent out the whole list, but I don't have it to memory yet.
What's it going to look like? It's about 48 hours away. It's really starts at 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's 12:32 as we sit here on Thursday. And I have no idea. I know where I'm parking. That's about you know this. This is about the only information I have at this point. I asked Terrell Farley. He's got the same, although he's walking because he lives closer to the stadium, so he's going to walk. That's really all the information we have right now. So your guess is as good as mine. Let's have some freaking fun on Saturday, whatever that looks like. All right, we got some clips we want to play real quick before we do. All right, Trey Taylor The highly sought-after quarterback decided to make another trip back to Lincoln this Saturday for spring activities, not the spring game, spring activities, before his May 1st decision when he announces where he's going. He hopes to engage with the fans some this weekend, all right, former players, etc. All right, Levante David is in town. Guy just keeps plugging along. One of the greatest to ever do it, who is just not talked about enough. Here are some confirmed features for EA's College Football 2026. Are you excited? Like you were last year?
Not as excited as you would.
The game
obviously
needs to be better.
Yeah, that too.
High school is back in Road to Glory. Real coaches are in the game.
Yay. Sorry, that was a big one for me.
Okay, I've got to ask, was that genuine or was that sarcastic?
No, that's real. It bothers me. There weren't, takes me. I know it's fake, but at least trying to make it as real as we can.
You know, my favorite thing about Madden for a long time was that you had like Harbaugh and you had Shanahan, and then whenever you play with the Patriots, it's some dude that was clearly not Bill Belichick.
That's right, yeah.
Like 31 NFL coaches and some animation dude because Bill Belichick wouldn't agree to be in the game. All right, real coaches in the game. There's a big deal to Jake if you didn't notice. 3 different covers. Why, and I don't care. Early release date is July 7th. All right, that matters to me. Standard release is July 10th. New score bug. How interested are you in the new score bug?
That wasn't one of my major complaints, so I guess.
The Super Bowl score bug was pretty awful. You remember that?
Yeah. I don't know why they experiment with it. There's a lot of, it's pretty basic. There's a lot of good routes to go.
It's a phenomenal point. And Lowe's and Metallica partnership with the game. Zippity-doo-dah. Okay.
Say Lowe's?
Yeah.
No. What about Home Depot's? That's what builds College Game Days. I don't know how Lowe's going to feel about that.
What the heck is that about? Just a teaser for our press conference reactions tomorrow. Quarterback Dylan Raiola notes that 6 to 7 of the leaders on the team include Justin Evans, Dane Key, Cam Lenhart. That's a key one. Someone from the D-line. I like that. Marquez Watson Trent, Henry Latufsky, and Gage Stanger. I like that. I like seeing some of the known guys. I like seeing some of the under-the-radar guys, so to speak, as well. All right. Go ahead. I don't even know which clip you're gonna roll with. Whichever clip you chose first to Matt Rhule, go ahead and roll that, and then we'll chat about it afterwards.
I have one job: it's to win at Nebraska. Okay. Anytime a coach here has tried to do anything else but win at Nebraska, they've been asked to leave. And I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. Like, you can serve. No man can serve 2 masters. We have to win. Everyone cares about everything else when you're not winning. When you win, and Tommy Frazier was from where? Okay, saying like that, no one cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I'd say that like I want to mine the state. I think there's good players in the state. Okay, but like if a player's a really good player and doesn't quite fit us, and he's going to go somewhere else, I want him to go be happy. I care about football in the state. That's why we're open. Every practice is open to the high school coaches in the state. That's why our camps are not just select invitational camps. That's why we do youth camps. That's why we do free youth camps. That's why we go speak at clinics. That's why our coaches clinic had 500 people here just for us. We are going to pour into the state in football. But what I have found is if you bring a player here from the state and they're not happy, the place that they love now becomes a miserable thing. So I have to be sure that they're good enough. And what's happening sometimes here is some of the other schools that aren't playing in the Big Ten, they're going to offer them as a sophomore. And everyone looks at me like, well, why haven't you offered him yet? It used to be you got offered as a senior, And I like guys, if I'm not quite sure yet, don't I owe it to you to be sure before I offer you a scholarship? And now before I offer you a rev share deal. So I don't think there's anything wrong at the University of Nebraska that we carry ourselves like the top 20 teams in the program, in the country. And the top 20 teams in the country, if they say, hey, we like you a lot, but we want you to come to camp, you'll come to camp. Going into your senior year. So there's lots of kids. I would love to recruit them. They've committed to a Big 12 school or somewhere else like that. Come to camp. If you want to play in the Big 12 over the Big 10, I got it. But make no mistake, there's a big difference. And Big 12 is going to go nuts now. I know that. And I'm going to be on X and all that stuff. But it's the reality. The Big 10 and the SEC, especially moving forward, are going to be here in terms of everybody else. So I have to worry about what's Ohio State doing, what's Michigan doing. So I love the state. I love the players. And we're gonna take a bunch. So we've taken some as walk-ons. We've taken some as scholarship players. I just have to be sure that they're good enough. And I don't think asking guys to come to camp is the whole thing like, hey, you should be the first offer at Nebraska. Desperate teams always set the market. Let me say that one more time. And rev share and all this, desperate teams set the market. So if they know that, hey, straight up, we can't beat a Big Ten team or we can't beat Nebraska, then we better offer them a year earlier and say Nebraska doesn't care about you. We care about you. We just we got to make sure that you're going to help us beat Ohio State.
There's a lot to unpack there. A lot. Let's start with the beginning. Basically, when he's talking about if you win, people don't really care about anything else. We've discussed that, I think, a time or two. Winning tends to cure 99.9% of things. Easy for me to say. If you're winning, his point was Tommy Frazier's from Florida because he was asked about recruiting Nebraska guys. And we've discussed this here. I've simply said it's interesting. It's a complete turnabout to what he did his first 2 recruiting classes. And it's a complete turnabout to philosophy. I think he's learning on the job. That's okay. Osborne learned on the job. Other coaches learned on the job. Pelini, very good football coach. I would argue he didn't learn enough on the job. It's not just that coaches don't know enough. It's that the game is evolving. And if you're not learning and evolving with the game on the job, you're going to get left behind. So my point is, Matt Rhule's saying, hey, we're trying to compete with the best in one of the 2 best conferences in America, with all due respect to the Big 12. And as soon as he said, I'm paraphrasing that, I was like, oh, it's going to be trending on X. And then he pointed that out. But he's right. I love recruiting Nebraska kids. But if he believes there's better players out there, I'm cool with that. The thing that comes along with that and the risk you're taking, and maybe he's saying in the transfer portal era, this risk isn't what it once was. It used to be a Nebraska kid was more likely to stay. I think with the transfer portal era, that gap between a Nebraska high school kid being willing to stay versus an out-of-state kid, the out-of-state kid, if they were unhappy, was way more likely to go. Now with the transfer portal era, I think the gap between who's more likely to stay and who's more likely to work hard and who's more likely to go, I don't think it's as big as it once was. So he's like, you know what? I'm just simply going to, and I pointed out, they're going for higher ranked national players than we've gone after in about 20 years. I think Callahan had a top 5 recruiting class or number 2 in the country or something like that while I was here at one point. Like, it's been since then, since we've gone after guys like this. Now, I can look back and I can name a lot of guys who came and went while I was here too. But again, with the transfer portal, a lot of people are going to come and go. So I think Rhule's saying, let's just go after the better players. And obviously there's good players stayed in Nebraska. I've stated that 4 billion times, to be clear. But my point is, I think that's a reason for the shift. And what he's saying is, hey, if we're losing, people have 4,000 reasons as to why. It's this, it's that, it's no fullback, it's in-state recruiting, it's whatever. If we're winning, nobody cares. Nobody cares where that kid's from. Nobody cares if the fullback's out there. Nobody cares if we're in 12 or 89 personnel. That'd be an interesting formation. My point is simply what I've been saying for a while. If part of the package that's Dylan Raiola is winning games, go to 80,000 basketball games and take all the pictures you want. It's cool. If you lose, people view it differently. Nick Saban could be how he was at press conference because he won. Bill Belichick could be how he was because he won. I'm curious to see how things play out at North Carolina because he's not just going to walk in and steamroll everybody there, although the ACC is not exactly a juggernaut. So that's part one. When he talks about comparing the Big 10 to the Big 12, I mean, he's right. He can be trending on X all he wants. And some people, like John Kurtz on X, Matt Rhule wants you to know that Nebraska has higher standards than Iowa State. With all due respect, that is correct. John says he's right there. He's right that there's a big difference between the two. This is John speaking. Iowa State is chasing a playoff berth. Nebraska is chasing any shred of relevance. And then the next paragraph, he has a link, and he says, on Rhule and Nebraska's delusion, Lincoln replies. So, of course, people were taking shots. Here's the deal. Matt Rhule's right. The 2 best conferences in America, bar none, are the SEC and Big Ten. It's not disrespectful to point out what is obvious. It's not disrespectful to the Big 12 to say there's better football played in the Big Ten. I will still say the Big 12 as an overall whole is more entertaining, which is why I've dubbed it America's Conference. The games are closer. The teams are more even. The Big Ten was very top-heavy last year. Very top-heavy. Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan kind of in there a little bit. Then there was a drop. The SEC, not so top-heavy. The middle was maybe a little bit more competitive. The Big 12, they're top to bottom for the most part. Okay, very competitive in that conference. But the overall top-end football teams are not as good top to bottom in the conference. And I pointed this out before. In the last 3 years, the Big 12's had one top 25 recruiting class. One. I feel like there's probably something I missed in there. Any thoughts you have there, Jake?
It's very fascinating. I've loved recruiting for a long time, going back to those Callahan classes when a lot of people got pretty excited about that. But it's fascinating to kind of see, because for one way you think about it is, he says that they want to treat themselves as a top 20 program, and that's nice. But if you're not viewed as that, then you could try to force it to make it happen. But it might not be the result you want, because you're not in that category. So that was one thought that I have. But whether it's top 20, whatever you might want to put it, what he was saying too is Big 10, SEC. There might be kind of different standards here. The other thing is, I just think the transfer portal changes everything. Mm-hmm. You mentioned they're going after higher end players. And I think that's because there's just a lot less of an emphasis, especially with this staff in college football. Yes, but especially with this staff in high school recruiting, mm-hmm. They're going after those big time names because you can get them the second time around. Look at Williams-Nwaneri. So even if you miss out on these guys, they might be in the portal here another year or two. And so when you're looking at high school guys, you want Dawson Merritt's, Christian Jones, guys that can come in and play right away, because that's what you're getting in the portal. If you're not getting that out of freshman guys, there's probably a few spots for some long-term projects, or, like offensive line, defensive linemen usually have to develop. But otherwise, you can go and get something in the portal that's going to help you immediately. So I just think I don't think that this Iowa State takeover of Nebraska would have happened under Coach RHULE, under Coach Riley, under Coach Frost 10 years ago. But now I think they're approaching how high school recruiting differently, and I think it's because they know if we take shots at the top guys in high school now, you miss on them, you might be able to get them in the portal.
Dude, that is a phenomenal point. It used to be you got one crack at these guys. If you didn't get them out of high school, then you're stuck with whoever's left, and they're gone somewhere else. Now you can take a crack at them, and then a year or two down the road, you might get a second at bat at trying to bring them home. That's a great point. So your batting average doesn't have to be as high in your first at bat, because you're going to get a second, maybe a third attempt. And so if you don't hit initially on those higher end players, you're going to get another chance. So you don't have to go after the players you feel like you're definitely more likely to get, even though their top end potential may not be as good sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, we got two more clips we're going to play in this last segment. One more from RHULE, one from DBK. 1,000 press conference notes. We're going to talk about all that tomorrow. We're going to react to the first round of the NFL draft tomorrow. And then we're going to talk a little bit about where's Fedoni going to go? Where's Robinson going to go? Where are they going to get drafted? That tomorrow's show is already loaded. And you got one more second left in today's show. Here's a thought before we go to break and play those two clips. Career NFL earnings by draft picks for these two coaches. And I'm a Matt Campbell fan. But just to point out, comparing Iowa State to Nebraska as far as picks and coaches of the current programs, Matt RHULE, his total draft picks, and keep in mind, I think Campbell, as a head coach, has maybe been in college longer. I'd have to double check that. But over the course of his career, all of his players combined, $277,675,441. That's Matt RHULE. Matt Campbell, who's a good coach, $131,884,033. There's a gap in there in favor of Matt RHULE. Again, that's no disrespect to Campbell, but facts don't care about feelings. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Coppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Coppel on select new models. Coppel also has over $10,500 off list on new select models. So please stop on by and see what confident driving and confident buying is all about. We're right down 144th Street or online at coppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit, 0% is standalone.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through April 1st is $1 off all pasta, $2 off spaghetti sauce, and special discounts on hamburgers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney and Lincoln, or also at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Fleet Feet Lincoln is excited for the upcoming spring season and the warmer temps, and they want you to get outside and be active. Fleet Feet's Fit ID process takes a free 3D image of your feet to help runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77 for pioneers.
Hog Wild's giant stuffed baked potatoes are anything but basic and really hit the spot when you're craving a little comfort food. Nothing is more satisfying than a Hog Wild baked potato loaded with butter, sour cream, cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and chives. Add your choice of a Hog Wild house smoked meat like pulled pork, chicken, or brisket for a little extra. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
You're listening to the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Jake made a great point. Once Brock Purdy signs his contract, that Matt Campbell, Matt RHULE, total NFL player salary thing might change just a smidge. So we had to get those numbers out there early is what I'm saying. All right, we got 2 clips. Go ahead. Excuse me. Go ahead and roll the RHULE clip there, Jake.
I'm out there every day, and I'm like, hey, red zone lockout, FUD, and Dane Keys, like, make it live. Emmett Johnson, I mean, they love football. So this is the team I've been waiting for in terms of that. This is the team I've been waiting for. When you have a fourth-year guy who started in the SEC, you've got Emmett Johnson, who's a starting tailback. And let's be quite honest, like, if they were to get injured, they have a lot to lose, right? But they love to compete, and they understand that when you play football, there's an inherent risk. And that's why, I mean, in the NFL, they have preseason games. Think about that. You have a $270 million roster. You have $50 million quarterbacks, and you still put them out there for preseason games because you have to make a decision. Do I want to be healthy or do I want to be good? And most injuries actually happen just like shuffling and the guy's knee buckles, right? So, but when you have players that like to play, like I don't have guys saying like, I blow the whistle up there, hey, coach, can we run that back? Can we do it again? It's the first time like the offense fumbled today in a competitive period, and I wouldn't let the one offense, the black offense, go back out. And they're, Dylan's in my ear. And I'm like, well, the only way to punish you guys is to not let you play, as opposed to make them go again. And they're, it's completely different. But you're 3, right? It's completely different and has nothing to do with me. It's the guys. They like to compete. Like that guy back there, Justin. Like, if someone called me and said, hey, there's a problem at the house, I'm calling Justin Evans. I'm telling you. And he's moved to center now. He should be up for everything, every award. I mean, he's a tough guy, right? Smart. But he's not the outlier. There's a ton of them. And it's been really good. So when I say that, I'm just like, I want to be on the practice field. If you come to a practice and you hear me yelling and screaming, I kind of sit there and talk to Susan, talk to Hay. I mean, we got what we got going. And so they love the practice and they're competing at a high level. So I'm happy about them in terms of that.
So 2 quick things. Number 1, the other day when we first heard the quote, all we heard was the quote. This is the team I've been waiting for. Now, he was specifically talking about the mentality and the approach to physicality and the love of the game, the love of hitting. So I want to clear that up. Okay, I heard the full thing a couple of days ago. Didn't have a show yesterday, so we're here talking about it today. Number 2, he's right. It's such a conundrum. $270 million roster, you got $50 million quarterbacks, and they get out and they play in the preseason sometimes because do you want to be healthy or do you want to be good? It's a fine line to walk. Every football player knows I can get hurt. This can all go away real quick. Nobody knows that better than me. Signed a nice, big, fat number 2 contract, second game that following season against my former team. Just take on, my 50 billionth double team of my life. No big deal. Knee pops. Never the same. Led to 6 surgeries on that right knee. There were some complications there. But my point is, that's part of the game. And if you can't handle it, go play a different sport. I think it's part of what bothers me about Cam Ward in that bowl game. Like, hey, I got my record. I'm out. Shedeur leaving with 2 minutes left to go in the game against in Nebraska. That's not competing. That's not loving football. That's not loving to compete. I'm not trying to indict those guys. Those things happen. This is my opinion. It's a show. This is what we do. We give a take. That's what I like about what RHULE said. Let's play the DBK clip real quick and we'll react to that, Jake, and get out of here.
It's pretty crazy. And, being away from Nebraska for 8 years, a little bit, you forget a little bit how big of a deal volleyball is here. And then when things like that happen, it's a quick reminder how amazing it is across the state and how much it means to everybody. So besides the fact it's on Derby Day, I'm excited to go out to Ord, and I think they're going to be really impressed with this team. And also this team just so amazing at what they can bring to just fans in general. They're great people, and they really enjoy interacting with fans, and I think Ord's going to be a great time.
I think Ord sold out in like 27 minutes. That's what she was talking about. She seemed very calm in the press conference. Yeah, I could tell after she got hired, she was excited. She was also like, whoa, I forgot how much this matters and how passionate Husker fans are. Not in a bad way, but like, that's right. It's very exciting in this state about volleyball. And you could tell she was a little nervous. She even mentioned, hey, I'm a little nervous for that first match. What is it? Pittsburgh, the actual first match to start the season. I think it's against Pittsburgh. I could be wrong. She seems very calm there. And obviously, Nebraska fans love volleyball. Very passionate. Pretty cool how quickly they sold out Ord. And It's going to be fun to watch. The Huskers play Kansas this weekend. Watch them play in Ord as well. What struck me was how calm she was there versus even when she first got here. And obviously, it was a very exciting time. You're naturally going to be a little bit more excited, things of that nature. Emotions are running high. She probably got her dream job. I would imagine this is her dream job, so that's understandable. She seems very calm and confident right there. By the way, if you got dogs, don't yell and scream and freak out. Calm confidence. I watched Cesar Millan, his whole thing. Exercise, discipline, affection, and calm confidence. I'm just saying. All right, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here, Jake? I know the random dog thing came out of nowhere, but calm confidence. If you watch Cesar, the dog whisperer, he talks about calm confidence, and I said the words popped into my head. There you go. All right,
I didn't know. I thought you're looking out the window. I thought somebody was like mistreating their dog outside. I was like, whoa, where's this coming from?
You never know what you're gonna get, man. All right, you got any final thoughts?
No, it'll be exciting. I know. I feel like I had this epiphany that just came over me of the first time that Nebraska loses a match this season, or maybe a match that they're not going to. I mean, I just can't. People are going to start freaking out. Is this the same program? But we'll wait and see. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into like too many losses. But it's crazy because what led me to that thought was obviously, man, this is just a good situation. You got a head coach that obviously was competing for national championships at Louisville. You got a roster that, yes, lost a few key pieces, but has a lot of great pieces coming back. So it's not, it just kind of dawned on me. It's not about winning 27 or 28 games. It's going to be, this is a nice place to be, an elite program like in Ohio State at football. It's about winning a title or not.
Oh, absolutely. Remember when she took over Louisville had a losing record the year before she got there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the captain, Rashawn Jackson, T. Bach. The Bach block continues, ladies and gentlemen, until tomorrow. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the ball.